Hello, welcome to Meet the Author, sponsored by the Author Event Network in partnership with the Bremerton Public Access Television. I'm your host, Guy Morris. Author Event Network is a nonprofit association of local authors who sign books at local fairs, festivals, and events. Our guest today is Sophia Giles. Hello, Sophia. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. Thank you.
Glad to have you here, and you're a new member of the group, so
Yes.
This is my first chance to really get to know you. I always love these initial interviews.
I love meeting you on the street in action, and today especially.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, I always start with the same place, which becoming an author is not an intuitive choice. It's not about the money. So what inspired you to become an author?
You know, I think that it's life experiences. It's not a sudden decision.
Yeah.
It develops. And for me, it comes from my background. I was born in Greece.
Where in Greece?
In Thessaloniki.
Now, where is that, for our audience who doesn't know the geography of Greece?
It's up north. It's
Up north.
pretty close to the border.
Okay.
And it's a very old city. It was founded in 300 BC.
Wow.
So, you know, you walk around the city and you don't need a textbook about history because you run into columns, you run into the Roman Agora, you run into this and that.
How fascinating.
So the setting and my experience of growing up there has impacted what I'm interested in writing about.
So all of the things us Americans paid tens of thousands of dollars to go visit on our vacations to see, you grew up with that every day until it got to be, oh yeah, that's the old Roman thing.
That's so true, you know.
So Roman, that's boring, you know.
It would take us
Wait till we get to Napoleon. Come on, give me a little, Alexander.
Yeah, Alexander. The school would take us to excursions and we would go to an archaeological site, and the history lessons we could
wonderful.
tie to stuff. Not that I paid attention when I was in school. It was just something to get through. But you come over to
But
this
I imagine
country.
it becomes part of your identity.
That's it. And I appreciated it after I left it behind.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think most of us don't appreciate our culture and education as children until we start to realize that place in the world.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly
So so you're growing up in Greece and in all of this culture, that inspired you. You wanted to write about it and tell the world about what it meant to you.
That's the crux of it, yes.
Oh, wonderful,
yes.
wonderful. So what genres then do you write?
I wrote at first nonfiction. That was my memoir.
Okay.
And that was, again, my growing up years in Greece. My story, my mother's story, the remarkable woman she was, and how she handled her life. And when I finished that, and that took me 8 years to write, then I thought, I'm going to have some fun. And really, it is fun dealing with stories from mythology in Greece, with all these fanciful characters, gods and heroes and heroines and dragons and all sorts of mythical things. Inspires the imagination.
Oh, yeah. So do you write then Greek mythology?
Yes.
Oh, but like with a modern...
With a modern twist.
The modern twist.
I take the myth literally, but my heroines are female characters. I'm interested in female characters of the mythological era because their stories were not fully told. They were sort of secondary in the plots.
Okay.
They were there to support the hero and show, how they contributed to whatever achievements.
Men's egos are so fragile, you gotta just keep supporting them. You just gotta keep...
It's an old story, isn't it? Yeah.
It's our biggest flaw.
So anyway, that was how I approached it, because I was curious about what were their lives like, you know, what were they eating? Did they cook? What were their utensils? When they left the house and went out in public, they had to cover their faces in Athens. Wow.
Okay,
You know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then you go to the museum and you see where they drank their wine and where they stored the panoplies, you know, of the warriors, all the equipment they used. And it comes to life at that point. You just don't walk through a museum. You start putting it together in the story.
So you're writing about Greek mythology with a modern twist. You're bringing out the flaws of the characters and telling more of the women's story.
Yeah.
Now, in your view, is mythology history basically remembered with sort of more as the story grows kind of thing? Do you think there's a factual foundation for the mythological stories?
I think it used to be the way people interpreted the world, tried to make sense of the world. So some of it may be factual, in a fairy tale way, and in the oral tradition it shapes.
Yeah.
And there's variations, you know. Some like it hot, some like it cold. So you get versions, which gives me the liberty to interpret my heroines.
Oh, that's wonderful. So I want to go back just briefly to your memoir. You mentioned growing up in Greece. What brought you out of Greece, and how did that play into your story?
I left Greece after high school. I was the recipient of a Fulbright scholarship and came to this country. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And I studied psychology, social work, that sort of thing. So that's what brought me here. And I was going to go back home after that. But
romance,
life, yes. Marriage, family, child, grandkids now. So it's been quite an evolution and a lovely one.
Oh, wonderful.
Opportunities, you know. Yeah.
Now, have you always been here in the Pacific Northwest, or were you living elsewhere?
I came to Portland, Oregon for the first years, and then Seattle.
Okay, so you went from dry, hot, arid, rocky Greece to Sasquatch Company in the Pacific Northwest, where it rains constantly.
There you go.
Okay,
there you go.
Was your first instinct to build a boat? That was mine. I'm just saying. So tell us about your. I want to go into the themes and the readers of your Adrianad. Help me. Ariadne.
Yes.
A Greek tale of labyrinths and legends.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about why you titled it that way and what inspired that story.
Well, Ariadne is kind of a mysterious character. You know, all that we know from mythology is that she had a ball of thread that she handed to this hero. And it helped him when he went into the labyrinth to get back out.
Okay.
That's what we know about her.
That's right. Okay, yeah, I remember that story.
That's the story. Yeah. That's the story. Well, that's a heck of a short story, you know?
Yeah.
So I built it up, and I gave her flesh, I gave her a soul, I gave her characteristics, you know, the frustrations. Having a brother, she had a brother that was the Minotaur. He was half beast, half man.
Okay.
How did she feel about that?
How did he become a Minotaur?
He was born by the queen, her mother.
Oh.
And it's kind of a mysterious, it's a god that has a relationship with her. And this is the product of that. And there is upsetness in the family. The husband, who is king, Minos of Crete. He doesn't care for this development. So they create a labyrinth in the palace to house the Minotaur away from sight. So there is a little bit of a story too about this powerful king getting angry with Athens over some other myths that readers can discover. And
kings always getting upset with other kings, you know?
That's right.
Why can't we just learn to get along?
It's a universal thing.
It is a universal thing. We're still dealing with it, unfortunately. Yeah.
Right.
The rest of us are fine. It's just always those kings getting us into trouble.
They mess up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, for most of our readers, I'm not quite sure they know, but there are actual archaeologists have now discovered that there are actual labyrinths that were built under the Minos palace in Greece, so that that part of the mythology, that part of the legend of having a labyrinth that could be dangerous is true, but they've also discovered that the labyrinth in Egypt is also based on true archaeology, and they're just now beginning to excavate the infamous labyrinth of Egypt as well. So these legends, and that's why I wanted to bring back I'm a real reality kind of guy, and so these legends and mythologies that we inherit often have roots in real history and real people and their sacrifices and ordeals that they endured. And so you're talking about the woman who basically handed the ball of thread that saved the traveler into the labyrinth so he could find his way out again.
Yes, yes.
That was a heck of a big ball of thread.
It was. And we are talking about the physical setting, you know, the shape of the labyrinth, but also the metaphor of the labyrinth, which is an emotional connection, a travel
somebody who loves
in,
me.
in solving some situation in life. Going into the labyrinth, we are confused, we are puzzling. Coming out, we have clarity.
Wow, that's a really interesting concept, right? That parallel to life itself.
Yeah.
That we all enter life, and we all go through the labyrinth of life, and all of the sudden twists and turns and changes confuse us and change our direction. But that experience coming back and reliving that experience brings clarity and clairvoyance and meaning and depth.
Yes.
That is a wonderful, fabulous parallel.
And you know, that's what is also happening when you write memoir. You go back and you sort things. And at the end of that project, there's clarity.
Yeah, I have a feeling if I ever wrote a memoir, I wouldn't come off as dumb as I really was. It would lose a little bit in the translation, I think. So that's excellent. So why is this part of a series? And tell us about how that connects with the other books. Because you've got Sophia's Return. So I'm assuming that's your memoir.
That's the memoir.
And The Circle of Peace, which is a Greek tale of Perseus' Great Wall. And then
An Unexpected Ally, a Greek tale of love, revenge, and redemption.
Okay, so how are they? Tell us about these and how they're fitting together.
Well, they are in that realm of mythology. You know, all the heroines belong in that era, in the Mediterranean, in the big cities, Knossos, Athens, you know. So that is the universe, but each of them really stands independently.
Okay.
You see some characters and you meet them again, and you meet them again, but it's not really strictly.
So you're treating the mythological world as a real world, and then you're picking and choosing selected, in some cases, female and minor characters, and you're building out their story.
You've got it. Perfect.
within the mythological context of belief systems and dynamics.
Exactly.
That's an interesting, we talk to a lot of fantasy authors, but the fact that you've rooted your fantasy world in the real mythological world is both unique and refreshing, and I love it. And I think your background in growing up, with all of this being real.
Yeah.
All of these phases of history being real. I grew up in the Southwest. If you could walk through the desert and find a little arrowhead, that made your day.
Yeah.
That was something you showed all of your friends.
Yeah.
You started imagining a real Native American building his own arrow and creating this and cutting this and hunting with it. And that's a really unique perspective. So tell us more about this world, and what are some of the dynamic characters? Tell us more about your characters and the ordeals you force them to go through. Because it's mythology.
It is mythology.
They have to go through an ordeal.
Of course.
I'm assuming that there's an ordeal involved. So tell us about your characters and a little bit more about your ordeals.
So Ariadne is a young person. She is not an adolescent, a little more grown, and she is under the influence of this royal family, right? Okay. She has obligations. Mm-hmm. She has to meet what the parents expect. But she is in that phase where she's developing. Mm-hmm. She's maturing. So she shows a strength of creating her own solutions to problems and not being the obedient child, if you will. For a while, she meets Theseus. Theseus is the other character who is the hero from Athens, who has come to kill the Minotaur.
Okay.
She has feelings for this.
Oh, that's not the one that's her brother?
No.
Okay, no. Got it.
Yeah. So he comes with a group of Athenians, and they are going to enter the labyrinth. Mm-hmm. His purpose is to kill the labyrinth, the Minotaur, because otherwise he would kill the Athenians. Mm-hmm. And so she helps him by giving him this ball of thread. If he makes it and kills the Minotaur, they can get out and free, which is what occurs.
Okay.
And then...
Now, how does she participate in this ordeal? What's her trauma that she's experiencing?
It's not quite that yet, because she's still fond of him, and she follows him. And they get on the ship, and they leave Crete. Mm-hmm. So there is two variations of that myth after that. One is that he takes her all the way to Athens and she lives happily ever after. The other is he abandons her on this island and goes about his merry way. My version is that abandonment.
Okay. There you go. Falls in love with the wrong guy and then he dumps her.
Yeah.
That's an ordeal I know a lot of women could relate to.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
There's a modern affinity to that ordeal.
There is. It's a universal.
That's right.
Puzzle.
His name was, in the modern version, his name was Chad, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's all right.
I'm loving it. I love this concept. I'm having so much fun with this concept. It's so much room to explore. This is such a rich field for narratives and story.
That's why I love it, you know. And I get to make the rest of it up.
So he abandons her on this island.
Once I choose the variation.
Now, is she alone? Is she basically? Is she alone? Or is she with other people?
No, she's alone.
Okay.
She just gets on the ship and continues his travel, and she wakes up now. She's on Naxos, another island. What to do? Will she be depressed? Mm-hmm. Will she get angry? What will she do? There is the old tragedy solution of something miraculous happens. That's where the God appears.
Okay.
And realizes, what a powerful abandonment she experienced. And he watches her. And there is women that come and help her walk another labyrinth and find her legs. You see
Find
legs.
herself,
Find herself.
Yeah.
And he marries her.
Well, that's wonderful.
So we have a happy ending in a way, but it is not, it is an ending of appreciating her strength and her power to recover.
So, overall, what sort of themes or do you expect or you want your readers to be taking away?
Well, one of them is resilience, for sure. Whatever happens that is bumpy on the road, there is a resolution. Identity. How does the person identify themselves through all these, obstacles? In her case, transformation. From the depressed state of abandonment and the momentary doubt, what happens next? Transformation. There is also the sense of building agency. She is not totally obedient, as I said, to her parents' wishes. She finds her own way, and she has a substantial presence and sense of self at the end. So those are some of the
Those are some powerful themes.
Yeah.
Those are some powerful themes. Well, we have time for one more question. And what is it that you love most about being an author, and what are you expecting from being a member of the Author Event Network?
What I love about being an author is being in the company of these characters. Because as you know, they are with us all the time. The next book, I'm already thinking, well, I wonder, what is she going to do? Is she going to open this door or not? And who will she meet on the other side to accentuate all of that? So that's the moment when the story starts clicking and I start knowing the next step and the next step and the next step.
Yeah, where are they going from here?
I love that.
Yeah.
I also enjoy meeting other authors and talking and sharing with them, we all have our different routes. There's personal stories, there's techniques, there's sharing about the industry, for example, and recently one of the annoying things is getting all these emails from unknown people who offer us, praise to high heaven.
Damn AI.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're all being deluged daily by constant, boy, I tell you, it's certainly a prolific problem. And AI is a contributing to that. Well, Sophia, thank you so much for joining us today. You have some fascinating personal story, and I think that the approach that you've taken with your novels to bring those personal themes into a context of Greek mythology is, as I said, I talk to a lot of authors. That's a unique. Boy, that's a series of 20 books. That could take you for a lifetime of destiny. Yeah,
indeed.
And to be truthful, I think there's always a benefit. There's always a little sadistic joy in putting our characters through a lot of trouble.
We're not the only ones.
I get a little thrill out of that, I have to admit. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
It's been wonderful getting to know you.
Appreciate it.
And thank you for watching Meet the Author. Come to meet all of the amazing authors, AEN authors, during the summer season in Seattle and Portland, and keep on reading.